what do you think is behind this big Uber boss door? Oh, look, it's the Flaming Pits of Hell, full of possessed, rabid, shrieking Darkspawn. Awesome. Hey, let's go check it out. What could possibly go wrong? Actually, this is the fight the way it's supposed to be. As soon as you open the doors, there they are. They come rushing through. I really like this area. When I look at the, the flames and all the little Darkspawn statues and the skulls on spikes and all that stuff everywhere, I think back to the crossroads when you're going to search for Keratin in Origins. When you're down in the deep roads, there's like this one crossroads section where some ogres fight you and a bunch of Darkspawn and stuff like that. And I think of how well done that could have been, if they had this graphics capability back then. And once again, I have this need for them to remaster Origins and Dragon Age 2 for that matter, just to see how that would look. And once again, I wouldn't change anything. I would keep the same recorded voice acting and all that. Just change up the skins, keep the same skill systems. The animations, new animations would be nice. Like in this, in Dragon Age 2, when you use something like Mighty Blow or something, and the enemy blows up, body parts fly everywhere and all that, and you feel like you kicked somebody's ass, and your character looks like a badass while they're doing it. That's what it's about right there. We had a really good talk about that last night on stream. Actually, as I'm recording this, E3 is it underway today? This is Thursday. I know it's this weekend. I don't know officially when they actually start, and I know they'll carry through till Sunday, maybe even Monday. I don't know. The BioWare people are going to be really busy with this too. By the time you see this video, it'll be too late. But a few of the guys, some of the producers and stuff who stream also. I've left some of their links. You'll see their links. You'll hear me talk about them a lot on stream too. Billy Buskell and Mike Laidlaw and stuff. They love to stream and stuff. They'll be real active with E3 related stuff. Of course they have their big Andromeda announcement hopefully coming up. We talked about this last night, what they could do. We were talking about the early Dragon Age and if they ever did a remaster and stuff like that. One thing we were especially talking about is Dragon Age 2 itself, which of course I'm playing Dragon Age 2 at the time, is that I wonder if maybe the writers initially, seeing as they stemmed from the same people that made Dragon Age Origins, right? If they didn't intend to have something of an Origins thing in mind and just did not have the time to develop it and get everything in order and put in all the details that would be required to put out a game like this. But I was wondering if initially Hawk's early classes weren't going to stem from which part of the Hawk family you played. Like you have Carver and you have Bethany and you have, of course, Hawk, right? And based on what class you wanted to start at, as you had, your Hawk, him or herself may have initially been intended to be the rogue class, and then depending on whether you went mage or warrior, you would take the place of Bethany. Although it could be male or female, right? But you could take the place of that particular sibling. In the Hawk family, I noticed you got 3 siblings there, and one representing essentially each class. I wonder if they didn't have that in mind, and then your story line would go based on how you started and who you started with. If you were playing a mage, you would eventually wind up in the circle, or not. And maybe there were several story paths they could take from there. If you start as a warrior, do you wind up in the Templar order or not? And then, of course, if you start as a rogue, being something else, being, more or less along the same lines of the Hawk story that you actually experienced in the Dragon Age game. I wonder if they didn't intend something like that. I really do. They probably couldn't really talk about it. It doesn't matter. Water under the bridge. EA only gave them, 10, 11 months to develop the game in its entirety. I think they did an amazing job with it, but I wonder what maybe they had initially planned if they'd have had 3, 4, 5 years of development, unlimited, resources and funding, and, support from, all that good stuff. Anyway, if they could go back and remaster those two, I know, maybe I'm the only one crying about this, but I'd love to see the first 2 brought up to date with this. And you might say, well, what, each time they come out with another generation of consoles, are they supposed to go back and remaster all their best games? You know what? If people will pay for it, Hollywood's doing it right now with their movies. They've run out of material, so they're just rehashing old shit and trying to draw people in the box office to at least justify the budget for making the movie. I mean, Seriously. And this video game's proven a whole lot better track record than that, because you have people going out and still buying and still playing old games like this. I'm still playing Dragon Age 2 right now. And Origins, you know, and the old Mass Effects and stuff like that. And go back and play Oblivion and Fallout 3 and, you know, I mean, all these epic ones. Sure, why not bring them up to date? Why not remaster them? Why not sell them for shit full price? I'd pay $60 for Origins and Dragon Age 2 if they were remastered. And you don't have to even change the story or anything. I would just like the nostalgia of reliving an old... I would pay for that. And you know what? I would like to think that I'm not the only one. I would like to think that there's enough people that would do that, if for nothing else, just to have it. I know some people who are as enamored with collecting the stuff as they are about playing the game itself. You know, and so on and so forth. So, it sounds like a market to me, but who am I? You know, I'm just a guy who plays games. Guys who actually make these games obviously know a whole lot more than I do about all that and what's feasible and what's not, but I think that's an avenue that needs to be explored by game developers and stuff. And, you know, if nothing else, Hollywood's an entertainment industry, right? Video games are too. And you got the music industry and stuff. How many bands redo old songs that were, you know, that were hits when they were out, so they'd redo them and make them a hit again? And then, you know, movies, why not do it with games too? Why not go out and remaster them, redo them, give them a new look, but keep the same feel? You know, you could do something with games that they don't do with the movies, is when you get new actors and new stuff, they want to throw in new dialogues, and maybe a director has a new vision and he thinks he has a better idea of how the movie should have been made than what it actually was, and so they change so much stuff that, you know, it never measures up to the original. Very, very seldom does a remake measure up to the original movie. But with a video game, you could literally make it better, because you don't have to change what made it great in the first place. All you're doing is changing the look. Keep the same voice actor, keep the same things that drew everybody to love that game in the first place, and just you know, just upgrade the you know, some of the, you know, maybe, you know, combat stuff, maybe some of the animations and the graphics, and that's about it. That's all it would require. That would make the game new again. It's just my opinion, but I personally think it's a valid one. Anyway. Alright, so I guess each section or level of the Deep Roads here has its own, I guess, boss or uber mob battle or stuff. This one was really, really creative in that essentially you have some bosses here. Not just one, but several ranks of bosses, and each one is necessary to progress the challenge to the next stage. Like, you got to kill some to get this to stop happening and that person to pop up, and then when you kill them, until you kill them, the mobs keep spawning. Like, the gist of this, as far as I could tell, was that it keeps spawning Darkspawn forever. A certain amount of Darkspawn are going to be present to basically ankle biters biting at your heels while you take care of the bosses here. You start out with a couple alpha ogres. Cool challenge, really love this fight, and then it moves on to you know, some other enemies and stuff. And the entire time you've got these mobs of these Darkspawn foot soldiers coming in to bother you. I really like this. This was a well-designed level right here, in my opinion. Really good fight. Yeah, kind of a close call, really. This was really well balanced, and the trials here. This is where someone took, in my opinion, took some thought and put some thought into the trials and said, okay, even if the player has all these things maxed out, it's, you know, let's keep this doable. And I consider something doable as long as I don't have to pause and go into the tactical camera every 2 seconds. Keep adjusting and manipulating and, you know, characters. I want to be able to no pause, get in here and just kick ass. And I thought this was really, really well done. Unlike a certain boss fight at the end of the Jaws of Hakkon, clear throat, ahem. Yeah. Not the biggest fan of that. Thought that was just a little cheap. just a little lot cheap. You know, these AoE healing potions here really kind of compensate for the health loss from Dragon Raids. Something to consider, getting these potions maxed out. And now the sigil I have gives me half healing, so this potion would otherwise be doing a lot more than that. I get half healing but 10% extra attack. That's fine. I may actually want to go with another sigil once I respec all my armor and stuff, which I'm probably going to do once we get to our campsite coming up here in a bit. You'll see what I have to work with. And also I have some new materials from the Jaws of Hakkon, which I might want to look at. I think there's a cloth that gives you dexterity. Dexterity is exactly what I'm looking for, so it leaves open the option. Do I maybe roll with a mage set of armor on my Reaver? I think if I make it with, what is it, Dale's Loading Wool? There's a certain material which opens up a set of armor for any class. There we go. Yeah, see, okay, we get the alphas down. Now the other emissary boss, this is like the alpha emissary comes in. So now you got two emissaries messing with you, and this is like the trials you face in, what is it, the Exalted Plains? The emissaries you find like back in some of the caves. This is like that on steroids. Look at that emissary alpha. What a badass. Look at this friggin' barrier, man. Oh, and he's got a... Oh, he's got like a... Man, that's almost like a negative fade rift. You see that? I'll bet you there's significance to that specific attack. Because that looks a lot like the, you know, the mark of the rift or whatever, that thing that you can do. But like a corrupted version of it. Interesting. So the magic of these emissaries, are these emissaries corrupted elves? They look very similar to the revenants. Like if you look at their helmets, and their hands and their dress and their claws and stuff make them look a lot like Corypheus. Very similar. Like are these ancient elven magisters? And were there elves amongst the magisters? I know Tevinter was as much at war with the elves than Orlais and everybody else were supposed to be at the time. Orlais, we find out it's because the elves didn't want to help out with the blight. And I can relate to them having some animosity towards the elves for that. But Tevinter and the elves, I don't know, man. There's some stuff in history which would explain some of the things that you see here. Like that emissary isn't designed specifically like that on some whim. Like that stuff's intentional, you know. Look what we got. Oh, they're running now. Yeah, run, bitches. That's right. Once Daddy Emissary is down, y'all wanna tear ass. Okay. See ya. That's right. Kick that emissary's ass with some authority, too. I don't even think anyone got knocked out, did we? Nice. Nice fight. Doesn't always go that well, so I'm happy when we get to run something over like we know what we're doing. You know what I mean? Oh, I thought I'd share a prediction or two on E3. And when you see this video, this will be in hindsight, but I'm recording this before I haven't seen anything on E3 yet. Like I say, this is early Thursday, so even if E3 kind of gets started tonight, I think the big players, you know, Bethesda and EA and stuff, they'll be doing their stuff like Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if anyone's doing their own private thing like Bethesda did last year, where they basically rented out the same hall where you pass out Oscars and revealed their Doom and their Fallout 4 and stuff. But I have an idea. One is I don't believe we'll hear anything on Elder Scrolls, period. But unless Bethesda's just going to be quiet as a mouse, unless they blew their whole paycheck last year, you know, and they're going to wait till they're done with their Fallout 4 DLC, which is, it's feasible that they may do this. Kind of take a year off, in a sense. Dishonored 2 is not a secret. There's nothing really to reveal in that, unless they want to expose some more gameplay or something, but I don't know that you can really even hype that game. You know, Doom's out, so, you know, that's in the books. So what else do they have to offer unless it's a new IP? Now that's possible. I have a feeling that maybe we might see something really, really surprising. Like, oh my God, how did they keep this a secret? I think developers need to do more of that. They need to keep something completely under wraps, and if they can, and you know, stuff where the non-disclosures agreements really come into play, and there's some actual legal ramifications for violating those things, as far as keeping a brand new IP, a whole new gameplay, a whole new game series and stuff under wraps, and then surprising everybody with it. I mean, the hype would be real, and not only surprising everybody with it, but making the release date within a very short period of time, like a very small window, reveal something and have it out by November type of thing. Like, not only a huge IP to get everyone hyped about it, but don't ever give them time to get unhyped about it. And I think that would be really, really smart for developers to start do that. But they all got to be on the same page, and nobody leaks anything. That means everybody's got to be happy, and you don't have some disgruntled employee going off and, blowing the secret just because, he's an asshole and because, I don't know, he didn't get a raise he was looking for or something. Stuff like that. But I would really like to see that. So it's possible. I'm not saying Bethesda's going to do that, but I have a sneaky suspicion that they might. I also see maybe BioWare doing the same thing. We know Andromeda's coming, and that would be big, but how to put icing on that cake if not to reveal a new IP or the rehashing of an old IP or something. And so I'm just throwing that out there. I know I'm being slightly vague because I couldn't possibly know that they're going to do something like this, but I have a suspicion they might.
That's the last of those, Darkspawn. Legion's in your debt, Inquisitor.
Look at this, Ren. It's ancient. Maybe 1,000 years old.
Any idea who built it or why?
This Tig is on top of a lyrium mine. According to the memories, the mine was destroyed by some unexplained disaster. The miners must have used this lift to reach the lower levels.
But we're not using it, right?
If there is a Titan causing earthquakes, it's down there.
I found this book with the Emissary. The pages are mostly ruined, but a few are readable. See this line? I awoke to the singing stone. Our kingdom trembled at the Titan's hymn.
That reference to singing stone. I've been told that raw lyrium has a sound.
A hum. The mining cast follows it to find lyrium veins. They say it's the stone calling to them.
Perhaps it wasn't chance that the quakes destroyed lyrium mines. Is it possible the Darkspawn or their emissary could also hear the song?
The stone would never call to those vile things. But that doesn't mean they can't hear her.
Darkspawn live and die by the Blight. They don't care for much else.
I didn't realize you knew so much about Darkspawn motives.
Not everything's a mystery, Volta. Some things are exactly as they appear.
And some things are not.
It would seem you're not the first to connect earthquakes to Titans.
Not to keep beating a dead Bronto, but there's no actual evidence that what happened then and now are the same.
Singing tremors, destroying a mine and threatening a Tig? You don't see any similarity?
I think you're reading where you want to read.
Perhaps this will change your mind. Look here. It's the royal seal of Orsec Garal.
King Orsec Garal? That book belonged to a paragon? There you are on something, Volta.
Of course you'd take a dead man's word over mine. Always the traditionalist.
Hey, challenging tradition lost you a cushy position in Orzammar.
Does a king's book mean that much to you, Ren?
Paragons are the best of our people. They don't hand that title out to just anyone. Not even a king. Knowing it was Garal's book from the start would have saved us an argument.
As if you'd ever avoid an argument.
Right? What's the fun in that?
What does he mean you lost your position? I thought you were a Shaper.
Not all Shapers have the same duties. Mine were adjusted. When my superiors ordered me to remove an official record from the memories, I declined. We decided it would be best if I served the Shaperate here, finding history instead of recording it.
That record must have been important, to risk your position over it.
It was trivial, actually. A cousin of King Haramount discovered that her husband's ancestor had Carta connections. But the truth is the truth, no matter how political it may be.
The Shaperate can erase official records. Aren't the memories permanent?
Sometimes erasing records is standard procedure. If a dwarf becomes castless, they're struck from the memories. But I was asked to change a fact that someone important merely found inconvenient.
If the Shaperate is willing to erase memories, what would prevent them from covering up the existence of Titans?
Why would they do that?
Because someone in power demanded it.
I had no idea the Shaperate was so corrupt.
Institutions aren't corrupt. Only people. I wish abusing memories for political gain was a rarity.
I remember Orzammar as an honorable kingdom.
You've been gone a long time, Ren.
I'm sorry I brought it up. The earthquakes are what matters. I don't know where this lift leads, but we're about to find out the hard way. Get ready.
How about these earthquakes are the Titan's way of defending itself from the presence of Darkspawn, trying to tunnel their way to it, to corrupt it? I believe the Titans are old gods. That's what I believe. And that old gods aren't what people thought the old gods were. Or that Titans, knowing not a lot about them, that them being struck from not only the Shaperate memories, but from any Chantry lore or anything else, and being made out to be something else. You know, symbolism has a lot of power, so you start creating symbolic things, and then you replace the symbols for the real thing that they symbolized. And then the truth gets lost in there, you know? So I'm thinking these Titans are the old gods, and I'm thinking these earthquakes are to seal off these tunnels and other things to at least delay the Darkspawn getting to it to corrupt it. Him or her or it or whatever you want to say. But all I know is that something that has the power to shake the entire world every time that it sneezes, we're going to go down into a hole and go looking for it. That shows you where our mind is at. Not very sensible when you look at it that way, but hey, that's what we do. That's how we roll. But that's my theory so far. That's what I think, and I may not know exactly what I'm saying here, but that's the gist of it, as I understand it. Thought we'd explore a little bit here. See where we're headed. Looks like we have another locked door over here, maybe? So it means going out and finding some gears and coming back. Now we do have that expedition to create those walkways. Probably find some more gears up there. There was a door over there by that burning area where we fought that horde of shrieks and stuff. Still got that one to unlock. Probably find some more doors along the way, and probably find some more gears as we go to come back. So, I will open as many as we can. I don't know how thorough I'm going to be looking for these random gears everywhere. Something tells me you got to find every single one to open every door. I want to say we did that on stream, or real close, anyway. I don't remember there being any doors we couldn't open, unless there was some doors I just didn't find. But, either way, just having fun exploring through here. Very cool. And good thing is, we're right here at a campsite. I believe that's a fast travel location too, so if we do get some stuff, we can just come back and move around a little easier instead of having to take a lift and go on foot everywhere. Alright, so let's see. Looks like there's looks like there's like 6 tiers or levels to this place. I'm assuming that's in the entire DLC area. Okay, so the doors I need to open to are marked. That's nice. That's convenient. And they're within walking distance, it looks like. Kind of wonder if the enemies will respawn. Well, we're going to have another campsite or two. All right, and this is where we started. Should be able to fast travel. Nice. Yes. Very good. Very good. So we're about halfway through. Okay, let's see if I've got an advisor available to unlock this. There we go. Nice. Nice. So only Colin can do this. Okay, so remember, don't have any of your advisors busy when you get here so that you can get this stuff started. Recovering barreled treasure. Alright, cool. I don't know if we should go back there. Probably be a good idea once we're done with this entire area is to backtrack through and do one more sweep and see if I missed anything. Upper bridge. There we go. Does it give you the option to go there, or it's just new area unlocked? Okay. Yeah, well, we'll definitely have to backtrack through that whole area, too. Check out our new bridges and walkways and areas and stuff. Look at that. Leave it to the Inquisition to come down and rebuild what the dwarves have lost. Well, we probably can't do it as nice as they do it. We're probably just going to have a bunch of wooden planks everywhere. That's how we do it, but Uncharted Abyss. Well, that's a promising sounding area. Sure. Probably going to be lore rich, too, as far as that goes. Alright, so we upgraded our camp. Now we got everything. Now we can modify stuff and make stuff. And, yeah, there we go. Craft everything. Got a merchant here. I see the merchant symbol there on the mini-map. See what he or she has to offer. So I want to look at this. Lyrium-infused staff. Found that while we were here. It's a tier 4 schematic. So that's worth having if you come here before going to Jaws of Hakkon, which I'd almost recommend. I think we got the harder one out of the way first, personally. But, let's see. I think I want to make a lightning staff for Vivian. Why not? We'll use this right here. It looks like it's got some good slots for critical chance, damage, stuff like that, which is really what I'm after with her. The more damage she can do, the quicker she gains focus along with the rest of the party. And her focus ability is what keeps us on our feet, being relatively squishy. I'm obviously not playing a tanky Reaver. It's more damage. Although the damage has been a little lackluster than what I might prefer. I'm fully aware there's a weapon or two, I believe from the Jaws of Hakkon, those fancy ice magic weapons, which do, well, I think they're a little imbalanced, a little OP, in my opinion. I would choose not to use them personally. But I would still like to gear my actual gear itself to maximize my damage or get some better numbers than what I'm getting. We'll do something about that. Nothing else has opened up since we upgraded, has it? Here's the store. Okay, what does it have? Ah, crafting materials. Shit, basically everything. Well, who needs the Black Emporium? I'll actually buy some Great Bear Hide, sure. I actually will, since I'm right here. I have plenty of money. Might as well spend it on something, right? I might wind up buying even more than that, depending on what I want to put into my my stuff. Although, I think I'll be using lurker scales. Or maybe snowfloor skin. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to also take a look at some of the new fabric I've got from the Jaws of Hakkon. I think one of them gives you Dex, which is more like a rogue material. Makes me wonder if it might make a different set of armor. I used to go for, you know, if I wanted to raise up my Dex or my Cunning, I would go with a Prowler set. And you can make a Prowler set out of, what is it, snowfloor skin or whatever. And you can put it on anybody. You can put it on a mage if you want to. But now this might open up a different warrior set or even a mage set for my Reaver. As long as I can, I'm going to see where I can maximize my Dex. That's what I'm looking for, is to get as much Dex as possible on my character. So we'll go for critical damage. Sure enough, I don't get the extra attack that a rogue does, but I've already got as much critical chance as I need. I'm looking for critical damage. So any point that I can get here and there, if I can work it into my gear, I think that's more advantageous than having extra attack or strength, which strength is nice for guard damage. It is that, but there's also a passive on one of my trees, which will be getting me extra guard damage also. So I think I will sacrifice an extra 10% guard damage for an extra, I don't know, 20-30% of overall critical damage. Sounds good to me. Alright, so let me, yeah, I'm actually going to make one of these for Vivian here in a minute. Oh, look at that. That's a dwarven hammer if I ever saw one. Very cool. And here's an ice weapon from Hakkon. I don't know if that's the only one, but, yeah. Probably not going to roll with that. That would look pretty cool on Vivian's back. Oh, that's more fitting for Solus, I think, but, he's not around anymore. Decent damage. Let's go for a lightning-based material. See what we got. Let's see. Critical chance. Looks good to me. And then Avar Cotton, Avar Twill, stuff like that. I'm going to take a look at that. Critical damage bonus. That's cool. If we need some more of that, we can buy it right here. That's nice. And then, let's see, what's that? That's 16 total. That's 8 attack. Although I'd much rather have just straight magic. I think the best I'm going to do is 14. So let's go for 16. We'll take that. And then get her maybe abilities cost less to cast. Or do we go for extra focus? Do we have any extra focus? I think reducing her abilities and allowing her to cast more spells and do more damage is almost like extra focus gain in of itself. It's kind of a win-win either way. Yeah, that 20% less if not being hit. Oh, that's a trade-off. Damn. Both those are good too. See, like the on-hit for 5 guard for a mage, that just doesn't fit. That just doesn't feel right. So I know a lot of people run with that. Yeah. I don't know. Vivian's barriers are strong enough anyway. I look for either focus or damage. Or, you know, more resources. If she uses less mana, she has more mana available, obviously. So I'm tempted to do that one, but if she's sitting there taking hits, that never comes into play. Or you can take that all the time. That's a decision to make. I mean, if we can keep the enemies off her, but she may be catching anything from stray arrows to stray magic and stuff and staying hit all the time, and that would never proc. So I think we'll go with this right here. Name it something. There we go. Viv's Arc. Alright, got her electric staff, so she's got all the bases covered. Although I think having 1 fire and 1 frost is enough. Lightning does serve its purpose. And I guess next, we'll just, I don't know, let's go ahead and fast travel back to our camp we just found, and then I guess we'll be taking, what, another lift? And going ever deeper. You can see why they call it the descent, right? Look at this. This reminds me a little bit more of how the tide could have looked in Dragon Age 2. The ancient tide down there. Although it was full of red lyrium. The reason the red lyrium here is that they haven't corrupted this titan yet. That's my belief. Anyway, that's my theory. Alright, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. If you want to catch the Inquisition playthrough in the beginning, you can click that image in the middle. It should send you straight to the playlist. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.